Okay, I'm just setting up the car, so I just thought you probably want me to see me setting up the car, and I'm also trying out the lens at the same time. So I've got the wide angle on and the macro lens. I noticed last night when I was playing around with it, I think it was last night or the night before, it seemed to keep focus over a wider area, you know, like right to the corners of the screen. But as you can see what I'm up against, so you wouldn't want this lens to fall off driving on. The way I'm thinking of it is eventually over time the blue tack might soften or something like that, and the lens will start to fall off or something, but hopefully be held on with the blue tack. So yeah, so anyway, it's also a case of how quickly can we get the hockey straps on, sort of thing. But I don't think I've actually walked the hockey straps around with the camera before, so you know, trying to avoid all this stuff in between. It's a bit slower than usual because I'm holding the camera and all that, but you know, I thought you'd be interested in seeing it, sort of thing, and I just sort of moved these hockey straps down a bit. What I noticed that is once you've got a few of these hockey straps on, you can actually lock one of the hockey straps on against this other one, so you don't actually have to put it on at the back. So that's just a little thing I've learnt over the time. But we'll take the camera again, and I mean, see, sometimes you have errors that don't quite work, but we'll see how we go, sort of thing. And as I say, it's basically a learning curve, and you can sort out all the ones that fall over the other side and things like that later on. There we go. And so we only need basically 6 or 7, I think, of these things. So, and it's a bit precarious, especially when you're trying to do things with a camera, but you know, I'm sure you like to see these sort of things. Avoiding all the, and hopefully I haven't left any smeg on the camera lenses trying to clean them all. And as I said, I think we've learned before, you know, after you've directly cleaned them, usually we have trouble. It's usually the second film after you've cleaned the lens is the one where you get really perfect, fantastic images for some reason. Whether it's one of those things where they put some compound in the bloody thing, so you have to keep buying the stuff, or you know, using twice as much so it runs out faster, so you have to buy more. Whether it's some of the usual business crap that they usually do, these have been doing. You know, once I started making money, I think, well, how do we keep making money? Well, we can get them to use twice as much. You know, it's like that mustard. It's not the mustard you buy; it's what you leave in the bloody jar where the bloke makes his money. Anyway, that's 6, I think. So we'll have a go with this, and I'll just sort of shift it down. You know, one sort of, you know, bit at a time, sort of thing, until we get it down to where we want it on the bonnet, and you know, usual thing. And you could do it around the other side, avoiding the puddles. Yeah, and just shift this down. I mean, if that works, then it's much easier to put the camera with a wide angle, because it's got its built-in turret sort of thing, and it's self-supporting in a way. And so bring that down a bit, bring this one down, and we'll walk them down. Whoops! Before we lose an hockey strap and an eye. But you can see the hassle and the work it is to get an image. But once you've got a good image going, well, you've got it forever, you see. That's the advantage of, you know, once you've worked out how to get this thing and get it working every time, as long as you've cleaned the lens properly, once you've captured a good sequence, and it's in the camera, as long as you don't delete it or anything, or it gets deleted or lost or something. I noticed one of my drives is asking me to scan and fix or something. Keeps doing that, and I'm a bit worried if I do that I'll lose something. But again, it might be that's why I can't find those clips. They weren't quite saved properly or something, or you hadn't finished doing something, or the date was wrong, as I said, because it hadn't clicked over midnight, and now it has clicked over midnight. It wants to fix something. I'm always a bit scared about things asking me to fix something. It could be some sort of bloody virus and I lose a whole bloody hard drive. So, you know, up to this point, the last few months I've been not tempted to actually try that. The thought of actually finding those Mincara clips, maybe I'll do it. Yeah, maybe I should just buy another little hard drive, transfer them all over, then see what happens when I press the button for scan and fix sort of thing. Okay, so maybe that's the wiser decision. Eventually down the track buy another $83 drive. Anyway, I think this clip's getting a bit long. The next thing is just setting it up on the bonnet and probably driving around there. We've got a bit of sunnage coming out, so that's good. Just in time, I think. We'll just drive round to the grid site. Do 2 clips, one on foliage night scene and one on fireworks night scene, which seems to be better, and see what the difference is. I think there might actually be a difference. So instead of going to all that trouble cutting this one down, at least I've got an extra beanie, I suppose. That's something. So I've got 2 beanies, 2 of these blue beanies. Where's the other one gone? Oh, there it is. So instead of using that one and this, I'll use 2 of these thinner beanies, and I've also got to put blue tack on the speakers. So that's what the blue tack here is for. The one that's on the flash turret. That's for that. So I'll get down to that now. Okay, over and out, and it'll all be set up and we'll leave and have a quick 5-minute session round there. See if there's any little young glids germinating. Okay, over and out.